How do you prune raspberries? Now, before you pick up your pruning shears and start pruning your raspberries, you need to understand how the raspberry plant grows. You need to know what kind of raspberry it is, because there are two kinds of raspberries. One, the ever-bearing variety, and the second, the summer-bearing variety. It's very helpful if you're going to plant the ever-bearing and the summer-bearing separately, so there's no confusion when you come down to pruning them. How does the raspberry plant grow? Now, the thing about the raspberry plant is that only the crown which sends out the shoots or these canes is perennial. These canes are not. These canes are biennial. These canes live only for 2 years, after which they die. They don't need to be there. You need to take them out. Now, the summer bearing raspberry will bear only in the summer and not in the fall. The ever-bearing variety, as the name suggests, will also bear in the summer as well as in the fall. Now, the other distinction, the other difference between the ever-bearing variety and the summer-bearing variety is that the ever-bearing variety will send out these canes in the first year and will also produce in their first year, unlike the summer-bearing varieties, which do not produce in their first year but produce only in their second year. Now, this terrace has the ever-bearing raspberries, and these canes were sent out by the crown last year, and we also had some production last year. Now, the production was only at the tops, so we come in here in the second year and take out the tops and leave the rest of the cane alone, so that this year in summer as well as in the fall we have some raspberries to harvest. Now, you take out the tops which already gave you some raspberries, like this one here and this one here. There's another option for you. If you want a very prolific harvest in the fall, then you take the entire cane out right from the crown. Now, when you do that, obviously you'll have to forfeit any harvest in the summer of this year, but that's going to be more than compensated for the kind of harvest, the kind of prolific harvest you're going to get in the fall. So it's your choice. If you want some production also in the summer, you take out only these tops and leave the rest of the cane behind. But if you want a very prolific harvest in the fall, then you prune the cane out right at the bottom. So I'm taking the tops out, and these tops are going to go into a compost heap, and some raspberries we're going to prune right at the base because we also want to propagate them. So we'll take these canes, propagate them, and have some more raspberries to be planted out in the fields. Now, these canes were mostly the 1-year-old canes. This is the second year, and this is going to be the second year of production. But if there are any 2-year-old canes in your raspberry bed, you need to take them out completely right at the base, because they've done their job. They're not going to produce anymore, so they're going to be dead and withered anyway. So you take them out, like this one over here. This one is a 2-year-old cane, completely withered, as you can see, and I take it out right at the base. 2-year-old again, I take it out at the base. 1-year-old, I take it out at the top. We have this raspberry, because it's an ever-bearing, it gave us some production in its first year right at the tops. Now, these tops where they had the production are going to go out. This is going to go out. Look at them. Now, that's where our raspberries were. I think the raspberries on this particular stem were not even harvested. So this goes, this goes, this goes, this goes. This one here is, of course, the 2-year-old withered cane. It goes right at the bottom. It is pruned right at the bottom here. 2-year-old cane taken out right at the bottom. 1-year-old canes, they're going to give us some production this year. Not this 2-year-old cane, which is dead and withered, and it's done its job and lived its life. Take out the tops. Take out the top. And we are more or less done. It's important to collect all these prunings and dispose them off, because a lot of pests and funguses can overwinter in them. So we're going to take them in the compost pile and clear the bed for these new raspberries to grow.